Good morning, YouTube. Whew, boy, what a day. We had 11 games on the dock. So remember, if you haven't come across this video and happen to like it, give me that thumbs up. It also important helps keep the channel going. As you know, here I gotta write this. Uh, um, but folks, let me tell you something. Getting these sheets ready is hard work, but they're no easy task. Really, they are no easy task. Okay. Now, remember when we did the pregame report, I said we already had one final and then we had another game going on, but we still did the report. So here we go. Starting off with Buffalo at home against the Vegas Golden Knights. Jack Eichel back in Buffalo for the first time since a few seasons ago. Um, Entering the matchup, Vegas was 39, 19, and 7 and 85 points. Buffalo 25, 33, and 6 and 56 points at the end of 60 minutes. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Buffalo Sabres were tied. They had to go in overtime, no score, so it goes into a shootout. The results of that shootout were Vegas went 1 for 3, Buffalo went 2 for 3. They win by a score of 4-3. Now, remember, the stats that I give you were after overtime. Buffalo, the Sabres had 37 saves. Sorry, shots were Buffalo, sorry, the Sabres 37, the Knights 19. The Sabres had 16 saves with the Golden Knights 34. Buffalo went 1 for 2 on the power play with Vegas 0 for 1 on the power play. And the series was tied, but Vegas wins on the goals 5-6, and Vegas went 1-0-1. Buffalo went 1-1-0. So, um, this game was pretty evenly matched all the way through. Um, no, it was no surprise really, and you really had to give it up to both teams. It was a really great game, and both teams just fought to win, and but one team wanted to win more. That's what happened. So way to go by Buffalo. Next was New Jersey at Pittsburgh. Entering the matchup, Jersey was 36, 25, and 6 and 78 points. Pittsburgh was 27, 31, and 10 and 64 points. And at the end, 60 minutes. Then the Jersey Devils lose to the Pittsburgh Penguins by a score of 7-3. That's right, 7-3. Shots on goal were the Pens 33, the Devils 27. The Penguins had 24 saves with the Devils 16. Pittsburgh went 1 for 3 on the power play with New Jersey 2 for 6 on the power play. Oh boy, what to say about this game? Uh, it was pretty evenly matched after one. Pittsburgh had a 2-1 lead, but Pittsburgh just really wanted wanted to win this one, and they put on the afterburners starting the second period, and they just dominated New Jersey. Despite scoring 2 goals in the third, New Jersey just could not withstand the Pens, and that's why they won. So way to go by the Pens. Next was Washington at San Jose. Entering this matchup, Washington was 43, 15, and 8, and 94 points. With San Jose at 18, 40, and 9, and 45 points at the end of 60 minutes. The the San Jose Sharks lose to the Washington Capitals by a score of 5-1. Shots on goal were the Caps 28, the Sharks 20. The Capitals had 19 saves with the Sharks 23, and both teams were 0 for 3 on the power play. And the series was tied. Washington went 1-0-1. San Jose 1-1-0. And also, Washington outscored um, the Sharks 6-3. So, there you go. What to say about this game? It started off great for Washington, firing on all cylinders right at the start. That's why they won this game. It was basically total domination by the Caps. So way to go by the Capitals. They did a great job. So already I'm 1-1. Did I prove? Let's find out. Next was Tampa Bay at Boston. Entering the matchup, Tampa was 37, 23, and 5, and 79 points. Boston was 30, 29, and 8, and 68 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Boston Bruins lose to the Tampa Bay Lightning by the score 6-2. 6-2. Shots on goal were the Bolts 40, the Bruins 12. The Lightning had 10 saves with the Bruins 34. Tampa was 0 for 2 on the power play with Boston 0 for 1 on the power play. And the series was tied 2-0, 2-0, and Boston wins. They outscored Tampa 13-12. What to say about this matchup? It was evenly matched after one, but Tampa they pretty much said, okay, we're not going to play even hockey with you guys, so we're going to shut you guys down, and that's what they did, basically. And despite one goal given up in the third, Tampa just put it on overdrive. So that's why they won. And so way to go by Tampa. Even though they didn't tie the goals, they still got the win and they tied the series. Next was the Senators at the Maple Leafs. Ottawa at Toronto. Entering this matchup, Ottawa was 35, 25, and 5, and 75 points. Toronto 39, 23, and 3, and 81 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Ottawa Senators beat the Toronto Maple Leafs by the score of 4-2. Yeah, 4-2. Shots on goal were the Sens 25, the Leafs 23. Both teams had 21 saves. Ottawa went 1 for 1 on the power play with Toronto 0 for 1 on the power play, and Ottawa sweeps the series 3-0 0, and they also outscored the Leafs 9-3. Um, it was even hockey after one, and then all of a sudden it was still even hockey, even though the score was 3-2 after two periods, and then Ottawa just did something, and they got the game winner in that third period. So it's just one of those moments, especially um, Toronto pulls the goalie, and that's what happened, and that's how they won basically late in the game. Toronto goes, okay, well, let's pull the goalie so we could tie this up and send this into overtime. Didn't happen, and Ottawa scored. So way to go by Ottawa. Should I say this was an evenly match game overall? Pretty much was. But Ottawa wanted the game more, and that's why they won. Next was the Panthers at Montreal. Entering the matchup, the defending Stanley Cup champions were 41, 22, and 3 and 85 points. Montreal 31, 27, and 7 and 69 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Montreal Canadiens beat the Florida Panthers by a score of 3-1. Shots on goal were the Habs 15, the Panthers 22. Montreal had 21 saves with, sorry, the Canadiens had 21 saves with the Panthers 12. Montreal went 1 for 3 on the power play with Florida 0 for 2 on the power play. And they got a few more meetings left. What to say about this one? Um, boy. It was pretty much evenly matched all the way through. And when you're playing hard and you're fighting for a playoff spot, trying to get every point you can get so you can win, it makes you wonder. And Montreal just wanted to win more, and that's why they got it, and they won. Um, it was a good hard-fought battle for um, Florida, even though they lost. But they did get the one goal, so they weren't shut out. So pretty good matchup, especially for a Atlantic Division matchup. We had a Metropolitan Division matchup between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Philadelphia Flyers. After that, entering the matchup, Carolina was 40, 22, and 4 at 84 points. Philadelphia 28, 31, and 8 and 64 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Philadelphia Flyers by a score of 5-0. And that's right, folks. It's a Pepsi Zero Sugar shutout. Oh, yeah, I love it. Shots on goal were the Kings 30, the Flyers 26. The Hurricanes had 26 saves with the Flyers 25. Carolina was 1 for 4 on the power play with Philadelphia 0 for 2 on the power play. And Carolina sweeps the series 3-0. 3-0-0 was the record and went on the goals, basically outscored Philadelphia 15-5. Wow. Total domination, basically, by Carolina. Attack, attack, attack. Way to go by Carolina. Philadelphia was like, what's going on here? We're getting. So, way to go by Carolina and putting the pressure on Philadelphia. Um, and pretty much Carolina's going to be eliminated from. I mean, pretty much Philadelphia's going to be eliminated from the playoffs, so if they're not already. Next was the Rangers at Columbus. Enter this matchup, the Rangers were 32, 28, and 6 on 70 points. Columbus 31, 26, and 8, and also 70 points. So whoever wins this game gets they leapfrog the other team. And at the end of 60 minutes, the New York Rangers beat the Columbus Blue Jackets by the score of 4-0. It's another Pepsi Zero Sugar shutout. Yeah. Shots on goal were both teams had 21. The Rangers had 21 saves with the Blue Jackets 17. The New York Rangers were 0 for 1 on the power play with Columbus 0 for 3 on the power play. And New York wins the series 3-1 and 0. 3-1 and 0. And also outscored the Blue Jackets by, ready for this? 12-10. They outscored them 12-10. Rangers has fired on all cylinders because the last game they played, Columbus put 7 goals on them. So, and they remember that, so that's why the Rangers attacked, and that's why they won. So, way to go by um, the Rangers. And they're just keep on improving and making their playoff hopes good. All right, so I'm 3-4 now. 3-4-0. Can I prove this record? Well, let's find out. Next, my Blues again in Minnesota. Entering this matchup, Minnesota, the Blues were 31, 28, and 769 points. Minnesota 37, 24, and 5 and 79 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Blues beat the Wild by the score of 5-1. That's right. Blues win. Shots on goal were the Blues 27, the Wild 18. The Blues had 17 saves with the Wild 22. St. Louis what 0 for 2 on the power play with Minnesota 0 for 1 on the power play. Now, despite this win, Minnesota wins the series 3-1. 3-1-0 was the record, and I hate to say this, Minnesota outscored us by a differential of 15-12. So Minnesota gets the goals too. 15-12 is not bad, but can't win them all. Um, this was total domination by the Blues. Attack. Well, it it was first off the Blues. Basically, the Blues was in the Wild were evenly matched after one, even though the Blues were up 1-0. And then all of a sudden, it was 3-1 after two, and the Blues just kept it going in the third, scoring two more, and win this game. Total domination by the Blues, basically. They took control and they never let up. So, way to go by the Blues. Also, um, Kairu got a hat trick. So, way to go. So, yeah. So, good game by the Blues. A win is a win, folks. Literally, a win is a win. Next is Nashville at LA. Now, entering this matchup, Nashville was 25, 33, and 7, 57 points. LA was 35, 20, and 9, so 9 points. This game had to go to overtime, tied 0-0 going into overtime. And the results of that overtime, well, LA wins by the score of 1-0. So we have another Pepsi Zero Sugar shutout. Yeah. Shots on goal were the Kings 21, the Preds 24. The Kings had 24 saves with the Predators 20. LA was 0 for 3 on the power play with Nashville 0 for 2 on the power play. And LA wins the series 2-0 and 1. That's right. 2 0 1. So they basically got 5 points out. Oh, yeah, 5 points. And also, they outscored the Predators 6-3. So, way to go. It was evenly matched. This game was evenly matched. Both teams really fought hard. And when it went into the 5 minute overtime, the 3-on-3 5 minute overtime, the Kings were like, okay, we want to win this game. Let's put it into it. And bam, that's what happened. So, way to go by the Kings for winning this game. And finally, the Chicago Blackhawks at Vancouver entering the matchup. Chicago was 37 and 9 from 9 points. Vancouver 30, 24 and 11 and 71 points. At the end of 60 minutes, the Vancouver Canucks beat the Chicago Blackhawks by a score of 6-2. Shots on goal were the Canucks 15, the Hawks 19. The Canucks had 17 saves with the Blackhawks 9. Vancouver was over 2 on the power play with Chicago 0 for 3 on the power play. And let me tell you this, Vancouver sweeps the series 3-0 and outscored the Blackhawks in the series on the goals 16-6. 16-6. Wow, that's a lot. Boy, what can I say about this? It was basically flat out domination by Vancouver. 2-0 after one. They kept the streak going and just like, okay, we're gonna put this away in the third, and that's what they did. So way to go by Vancouver. Despite their getting only 2 goals, Chicago did put up an effort, but it was not enough. That's why they lost. And Chicago had you know, they're already out of contention, so what can you do, right? All right, so let's get the record sheet. Find it. Here it is. March 18th, 6, 4, and 0. 12 more points to put me at 230, no, 261. 261, 150, and 40 for 564 points for the year. That ain't half bad. All right, folks, that ought to do it. And remember, if you haven't subscribed yet, folks, since we're now at the end of this video, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe icon and tell your friends to also subscribe. And hey, we're going to have a lot of fun coming up. As always, folks, I love you, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, please stay safe. Take care. Remember to watching it. And I'll see you guys later. Until then, peace.